Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watchbox, and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, tmosso@thewatchbox.com. Your purchase and pricing email question line for buying this or any watch you see here on our channel or any Watchbox platform. It's in the description below, tmosso@thewatchbox.com. Today we're discussing a watch launched in 2013 and made through 2016, a rare IWC Ingenieur Perpertual calendar digital date month. Reference 3792-01. This is an uncommon and highly technical watch. 46 millimeters in a combination of titanium and black ceramic. The watch is a flyback chronograph perpetual calendar that is larger than life, both in its billing and its stature. As you can see, it is huge. Think IWC Big Pilot, but with more of a technical bent, and that's this watch. 46 millimeters in diameter. The watch is 17.5 millimeters thick, and you can see from lug to lug it is 56.8 millimeters from side to side. On my wrist, it's borderline too large. I would not wear this watch on a wrist smaller than 16 centimeters. I'd even recommend that you start at 17 centimeters recommended wrist size to match this watch. It is sitting secure though, and that in large part due to the fact that the lugs start to curve around the wrist. They have an angular downward turn. The strap is substantial. As you can see, black, large rectangular scale alligator leather with a lightly contrasting stitch in gray. There are gussets built in rubber to avoid gouging of the strap, and you can see on the underside it's actually made of rubber. So structurally it's a rubber strap. There are some hollows on the underside to vent the wrist and also reduce the amount of material to improve flexibility. There is a matching titanium pin buckle for quick on-the-fly adjustability. And if you look carefully, you can see there's also sort of a quick release system on the underside. With the proper tool, you can quickly remove the strap from the case, which has 120 meter water resistance. Now, rolling around, you can see it's generally the Gerald Genta Ingenieur case design, albeit scaled up and proportionally somewhat different. The lugs are broken out in profile. There's a lot of satination, as you can see, longitudinal as well as vertical, and a few well-finished, polished accents. This is a grade 5 titanium case, so in addition to being fairly light, it's also a very hard, scratch-resistant titanium, and that's good because the finishing, the more you look, becomes more and more intricate. A lot of thought went into this design. The chronograph pushers, crown, shoulder, and shear guards are all made of ceramic to resist scratches. And then the dial is fascinating because it is so deep. There's a ray-hot outboard against which chronograph seconds and minutes for the time can be read. You can see then there is a center dial that features radially arrayed indices, and it has a cruciform symmetry to it. You can split it top to bottom, and you can split it side to side. It features smoked sapphires over indications for the date, the month, and the leap year, and you can see the discs underneath the smoked sapphires. It is a perpetual calendar, but an unconventional one. It uses the basic Kurt Klaus system that's been at IWC since 1985, and it remains a sequential programmed perpetual calendar. So as you advance it, the date, the month, and the leap year all adjust in sync. You cannot create an imaginary combination of them because it is mechanically programmed up to the year 2100. So all you really need to do is correct the date for the month you're in and make sure you're on the right leap year phase. So 2020 conventionally would be a summer Olympic year, so we are in the leap year. The watch is also a fascinating flyback chronograph. There's a mono counter up at 12 o'clock, and that is for both chronograph minutes and chronograph hours. So it keeps the dial a little bit cleaner than if IWC started larding it up with multiple registers. And as I mentioned, it is a flyback chronograph, so you reset and it restarts. There's no need to start, stop, and then reset. It's great for timing things that happen in rapid succession. Screw down crown, of course, with a watch this highly water resistant. There is a stop seconds function. There is that quick set for the perpetual calendar, and all of that courtesy of a movement made in-house by IWC. The technically impressive and mechanically voluminous 51 joule caliber 89801. Take a quick look at the 89802. This movement is based on the 89361, 89365 family of flyback chronograph calibers. It launched in the mid-2000s, and it has a 4-pawl IWC Peloton pawl-based winding system. So we'll start with the winding system, and then we'll work our way down. It has a 4-pawl Peloton winding system, and you can see the pawls underneath the rotor. 4 poles, very efficient, fairly shock resistant, designed by Albert Peloton in the early 1950s for IWC, universally copied through the industry and still one of the best in the business today. It's adjusted in 5 positions, which is the chronometer high horology standard. 5-position adjustment is as good as any chronometer. You will also see that it is a free sprung balance for shock resistance. It beats away at 28,800 vibrations per hour. It is a vertical clutch and column wheel chronograph, so the vertical clutch making for smooth engagement, the column wheel making for crisp engagement, and all of this has a 68-hour power reserve, you know, because inexplicably they put that on the rotor. All the same, it's an interesting grayscale composition, and the coloring, in addition to the finishing, makes it exceptionally attractive. It is a workhorse movement, a tough one, and a fairly sophisticated one before we add the unique complication. Together, this is probably the most unusual IWC complication ever issued in the Ingenieur family. That and maybe the Constant Force, a truly rare and special piece for the true IWC connoisseur, or someone who wants a better alternative to a Richard Mille for a lot less money. Email tmosso@thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details. And we're back with the IWC Perpetual Calendar Digital Date Month. Note that the mono counter for the chronograph at 12 o'clock features both hands visible.